Good afternoon, me again. Twice in one day. I think I warned you on the first one that this could happen, and so this is our inaugural double bubble. This is in response to Tottenham Hotspur supporters trust, who have issued their ransom demands. So I've not read this through. I'm going to read it out to you. If you make it all the way to the end without throwing stuff at your screen or falling asleep, then you've done well. But just in case anybody thought this was all rigged, and the power of technology on the old photo booth. Sorry, my moustache is very tickly today for some reason. Right, a 6-point plan from the trust. It's a ransom demand. I've read a little bit of it, in truth. And this is, I warned you. Don't say I didn't warn you. You didn't warn us. This is a power grab. I've just had a look on Spurs Shankly, and I don't see anything like this there. I don't see anything like this one here, there. Which isn't to say stuff might emerge over the coming hours and days. This could well be a template that they all use, that all of the supporters clubs use. But we don't need to worry about that, because the only club we're interested in is Tottenham, demands made upon it, and whom are the demand makers. Right, so let's spin through this, and you tell me what you think, and subscribe, and there's a comments box and all that jazz. Right, put distance. This is point number one. Put distance between the club and the decision to break away by replacing the current executive board. This will be the first step towards rebuilding the trust between the board and the people it has to work within the game, with supporters, and to repair the reputational damage done to our club. Right, that's interesting. I kind of thought that all these clubs had issued varying degrees of statements of regret. No, I don't think anybody actually said, look, we're really sorry. I think the S word was used very, very modestly. So that's their crowbar, where the point where the crowbar goes in. You suggested something. Now, this is a recurring theme I have to come back to here with the trust. We didn't join a Super League. So this is about, you tried to steal my biscuits, but in a court of law, attempted theft is one thing, but it's a far lesser crime than actual theft. So let's not lose sight of where we are. They didn't join a Super League. 2, owners to make a public commitment that any costs or fines incurred by the decision to either join the European Super League or subsequently to withdraw from it will be paid directly by the owners and not be drawn from club funds. Is that unreasonable? If the executive board of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club came up with the decision to join the European Super League on behalf of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, you can't then say it's got to come out of your own pocket, because it wasn't an independent decision. You're trying to express it as an independent decision because you personally don't agree with it. But at the time it was made, it wasn't something that Daniel Levy thought of in the middle of the night. So that's actually ridiculous. Point 3, to create a new club board that includes independent directors whose sole purpose is to protect and promote the interests of THSV as a football club, not its shareholders or owners. Right. Create a new board. Somebody wins a directorship of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Who's that going to be? Who's it going to be? It's not an unreasonable question. I've made no secret in recent days and weeks that I wouldn't want a member of the trust anywhere near it, and now they've denied that, and it now looks like it's going to be a competition winner or somebody voted for by the mob. And what we mustn't lose sight of here, folks, is this is a mob. If you're confused or want to debate that description, then have a look at what happened at Old Trafford. That was a mob. This is a mob that's yet to sniff drugs off a corner flag, break and enter into private property, and yet to throw glass bottles at policemen. So this is the mob want to vote for somebody, so the competition winner will then become a director of the board. Okay. No thanks. I mean, there's people on the Tottenham board I wish weren't there, but we live in a democracy, in a Western society, so you can't just wander around like saying, well, do you know something, Philip Green or Alan Sugar or whoever, just anybody. You can't just go, well, I don't really like you, so I'd like to pull you off. Maybe a better choice of words. I'd like to remove you from the board you're on, and I'm going to install a competition winner. That's Marxism. That's Marxism right there. Let's not get confused. Oh, it's raining. Don't know if the microphone's picking that up. That's proper rain as well. Right, point 4. Proactively and positively engage with the government's fan-led review to rebalance the current ownership structure in favour of supporters. Right, let's look at the wording here. We don't know the outcome of the government's fan-led review. But if it's fan-led, I'll tell you now, that's not going to be good news for anybody who owns a football club. Rebalance the current ownership structure in favour of supporters. So it's tilted against supporters. Again, this is like the thing I said about the canteen at IKEA. I don't like it. It's smelly. There's people chewing and masticating and kids, and it's my idea of hell. I don't want to, but I wouldn't have the temerity, the audacity to send any form of communication or protest outside an IKEA and demand that they took somebody off their board who was responsible for the let's sell food, hot food, and then replace it with a competition winner from the mob that I've assembled outside their premises. No, not interested in that, thanks. That's a really bad idea. Right, point number 5. Gosh, here we go. Commit to a full prior consultation with supporters on key non-playing, non-coaching decisions, and to introducing. Yeah, somebody should have read this typo. Says he. And to introducing a system that requires the consent of supporters for those key decisions. Right. So, not transfers, not coaching. But you want a system that requires, so everything else, so like if you were going to build Hotspur away again, or a hotel, or sublet part of the buildings that you'd built to Sainsbury's. I guess it's that stuff. So you're going to hand those decisions over from you people that legally own the business, and you're going to put a director, and it doesn't say, crucially, whether it's an executive or non-executive director, but a director is a director. And incidentally, this is another key point that I've just thought of. Commercial sensitivity. If this person, this competition winner, do they sign an NDA? If they do, then that means they can't talk to the mob, which means, and there you go, there's wind as well as rain. This is really bad. This is really bad. I mean, I'm looking from this that football isn't perfect, and it's been imperfect for a long time. But this is a Marxist power grab, and I don't say that in an insulting way. It's just how I'm reacting to this, because this is what Marxists do. I don't like you having that. Let everybody have it instead. That's one of the tenets of Marxism. Board elected accountable fan representatives. Oh my God! Now this is full on. Okay, this is full. Right. The scope and range of these key decisions will be agreed by the new club board and a supervisory board of elected and accountable fan representatives drawn from across the supporter base. I suggest some of you have a good look at the Communist Party manifesto and some of the stuff that was kicking around under Corbyn and the Labour Party. This business of having power let's try and word this appropriately. Power, not just devolved, but power thrown into the hands of community chairpersons. This is really bad. This is really, really, really bad. Yeah, and then it's anybody that's joined a supporters club, even people who haven't, Hotspur members, season ticket holders, alongside recognised fan groups such as THST, and a mechanism for granting supporter consent on key decisions. So you don't run your own business anymore, and the workers. Do you remember that rather tedious video I gave you the other day? The workers, the customers, now have a stake in the business. You're going to hand all that power over to competition winners and people who want to regulate your business. And here we go. This is it. Number 6. Commit to the creation of a share ownership structure that broadens the ownership of the club and would potentially provide an injection of cash. An injection of cash, yeah. It's just a little prick. Yeah, well, this is it. They want to remove the power from the people that own the business legally in a Western democracy, and this is Marxism. I called it, like I said to you, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. This is Marxism. This is the Marxist playbook for overtaking private business, and anywhere else in the world where you had people smashing their way into property. I mean, let's face it, okay? Let's pick a business, Marks and Spencers. There you go, high street name. If a mob of Marks and Spencers employees, or just regular punters, a mob, don't need to define them, a mob, smashed their way in, let off flares, jumped up and down on cash points, and said that they wanted the board of the executive board of Marks and Spencers removed, those people would all be arrested and placed in custody suites in various police stations, just as climate change protesters who broke the law were in the last couple of years in London and the rest of the UK. We must do more than just voice our opposition to the current board and ownership. This 6-point plan, and incidentally, this is their 6-point plan. So this is a gun against the head. This is a hijack. Yeah, this is these are this is the place we now want the plane to go to. So we're taking over. So they're inviting the club's owners to meet with us to implement the 6-point plan. We believe successfully making these changes will enable us to secure the future for the club and the game that we all want to see. Don't speak on my behalf. I don't want to see this game. This is a nasty game. This is horrible. So I don't need to go on. I don't need to keep repeating myself. We've had nearly 14, 15 minutes of this. This is precisely what I told you was happening. This is exactly what I told you was happening. But this, bless them, thank you. Honestly, I can't give you enough thanks. You have now detailed sufficiently from your initial statement, which hinted at a darkness. You've now detailed the absolute misery that you want to inflict on everybody. I'm not interested in weighing up the pros and cons of the European Super League. Personally, I was in favour of it because football is very selfish. So, for me, it wasn't something that I felt was making a particularly extreme right-wing sort of proposition. It was just a natural step, a natural progression. Whereas this is a left-wing Marxist backlash. We'll meet with you, but we'll meet with you as how to implement our new world order. Where were these creatures when the stadium was knocked down? Where were they, and how mealy-mouthed were they when StubHub was around? It's just I'm just looking at their homepage. I mean, they've got, I won't waste too much of your time, but they did have a success story listing on this thing. I think they've taken it down. Community, I think it was called Successes or something. Absolute frauds. Anyway, if you've given them money, you brought this on yourselves. And if there was any, and I'm repeating myself, so you just have to put up with it. If there was any genuine interest in grassroots football for helping little Johnny on the park and all the other absolute cobblers that we've been fed over the years, then these people and Lineker and Neville and all the rest of them would have done something about it. They've had the platforms, they've had the power, they've had the positions, and they've done nothing. And what has happened is because we've now got Marxists on the front lawn. We'll speak again. Good luck. Keep it Tottenham.